to go on. So very, very painful. And this other person has been told, you know, look, you went all the way through. We'd love to have you for the second season, so hopefully she'll be there on the second season. I hope so. She's cool.
Who was it?
Her name's Diamond Girl. I probably shouldn't have said that. No, she was young. But they took us through psychological tests, physical tests, background checks. I had to do like a 24-page background check. A lot. It's a huge process, very long, and very, very
and at that point,
stressful.
At that point where you were there at the hotel, did you have to leave from there and go to Blair, or did you go home?
No, we slept there that night. So I slept in my costume that night because I didn't know what they were going to throw at us.
So you had to call Sarah.
I couldn't call her.
Oh, so she didn't?
No. As soon as we checked in the hotel, they took our cell phones. They checked our bags, made sure we had nothing that was supposed to be in there. So Sarah gets a call, and she thinks it's me going, "Yeah, honey, I'm coming home. I didn't make it. You know, they kept the person on that was going to be on." And so she gets this call, and it's this guy named Jeff Skinner, who was kind of our wrangler, the guy who was in charge of all heroes. And he told her, you know, you probably may not see him for a while unless he gets eliminated real quick, you know. And so every night I made sure that, you know, he called her and told her I love her. And he never said that. He would never say, I love her. So by the time the show was done, she was a little upset that I never said I love you. I couldn't even talk to her on the phone. So I kind of shoved him in a trash can for that. No, I didn't do that.
You're a hero.
Exactly. Well, he's a villain in my eyes.
You can think that.
I can think that. Exactly. You could draw it.
I can draw it. You can't act it.
Will you draw that? Me stuffing him in a trash can, saying, "Why didn't you say I love you to my wife?"
All right, well, actually, I've got, if you guys don't mind, I'm sure some of you have questions for me, but I wanted to ask, because I was not there for the shoot. Everything that I did for the show was after you guys started to finish. Once you got, did you go to Blair first, or did you go to that house and the limo took you one at a time? Is that how you arrived?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay. So here's what I thought the first challenge was. We were ushered out of the hotel like 8 in the morning on Monday, right, after the night before. They put on these tanning goggles on our eyes that were totally shaded in, and then a blindfold over that. I don't know if any of you have worn tanning goggles. I never had up to this point, but they are like razor blades into your eyelids, and it hurt so bad. And I thought, this is challenge number 1. Who is going to whine the first about the pain? And we sat there for like seriously an hour while they took each of us into the van, and they said, "Do not talk to each other. If you are thirsty, say water. Say nothing else. Do not say anything to each other," because they didn't want us to know who was there. And I remember they sat us each into the van, and you know, I'm sitting there as I'm sitting there, I'm trying to listen from the sounds of the costumes, you know, who is where, what is this, my hand brushed against this guy, okay, that he's definitely wearing Lycra, I smell cocoa butter, like some, you know, so I know there's a woman in here, maybe, and so they get us all into this car, in this van, and then we start driving, and I'm sitting there trying to do the whole thing from, anybody see Sneakers? Sneakers, it's a great TV show where from the sound of what's going on, you can tell like what you're riding over, and I thought, okay, where are we going? So I knew we would, you know, turn left, and we're going right, we're going over bumps, okay, that was railroad tracks, you know, I was trying to just count to see how far we're going. I don't know what, I didn't know what was going to happen. It's like, are they going to say, okay, are you east, north, south, or west of your original location, you know? So I made up more challenges in my mind probably than they ever came up with. And so we get out, and then we're standing blindfolded somewhere on a street, I guess, and then we hear these helicopters come over, and they had us stand in certain places. I thought, cool, they're doing like a helicopter shot. That's going to be awesome. You know, and I thought, I really, in my mind, I don't know how my mind works, I thought they had all of us, you know, stationed out like perfectly equally in front of a huge poster of Stan Lee, you know, like this. And then we're going to do this helicopter shot, and we'd all be there.
It would be great.
I thought
Steal that for next year.
Yeah, maybe. So then we're standing, I didn't know where we were going. Well, then they tell us, all right, you're going to put your head in the limo, and then you're going to take your blindfold off while you're in the limo, and then just go to where you're going to be, step out, and go into where the location is. Well, so we're standing there. It's seriously been an hour and a half, and my eyes, it seriously felt like this is definitely a challenge because my eyes were killing me. And I heard one voice say, and it was a female voice say, can we take these sun canning goggles off? They're really cutting into my eyes. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, okay. So they went around, they took them off from each of us, and we're just sitting there going, oh. So, yeah. So then we went up into that mansion area, and we all went in one at a time, just in the order that you saw. And when we walked in, I thought, oh no, what is this? Like, I thought it would be like a crime lab or something, you know, some kind of superhero lair. I had imagined, you know, the whole thing with the old Spider-Man cartoons where the couch flips over and turns into a huge computer. So we're in there in the beginning and eating, talking, introducing ourselves, and then I said, okay, well, let's go find. I said, look, we're here. Stan wants us to be superheroes. There's got to be something here that we need to find. I thought it was some kind of, you know, scavenger hunt mystery that we need to figure out in this place.
And you noticed, obviously, I saw the raw footage. We could tell that you were the one who was really taking the superhero thing seriously. Most everybody else, creature and whatnot, they weren't taking it quite as seriously as you were.
Well, I wanted it to be serious because I thought, you know what? Of anyone, no matter what happens in the show or how long I get to stay, I want the people who really love superheroes, who are my people, to be able to know that they've got someone on the show that's representing them. You know, that there's someone there that loves it as much as they love it, that has been affected by it as much as they've been affected by it. And so, yeah, I did take it seriously.
All right, now,
too seriously.
Now, well, maybe not, but I mean, obviously you won. But what I was always curious about is, did at any time the other cast members, maybe before you got to know them during the challenges, did they treat you a little differently because they thought you were kind of a stuffed shirt and
yeah.
This guy's one of those comic book fans? Well, they're all wearing costumes. They're all there to be superheroes. But did they think you were kind of a geek for really getting into this, or what?
Well, I mean, you know, when they told us that there was a plant, everyone thought it was me. Everyone thought it was me. They thought that there was some plant because I was just playing it to the hilt, you know, because I wanted it to be so true. And you know what really kicks me in the butt about that is the day that we were in the mansion, right before we moved to the lair, everybody got to have lunch, right? We stopped and had lunch, and so Major Victory's talking with Fat Mama and Nitro G, and Tuberculous, Lemuria, Creature, Cell Phone Girl, and Iron Enforcer are all over here having lunch. And I had lunch with Brodiart. That's right. I talked to this guy for probably an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes, and I thought he was totally real. I stared at him for an hour and a half and did not read backwards. Traitor. And he was telling me about all this stuff, about how, you know, he was working in Las Vegas, and that how he shot a couple people, and then, you know, he was working in, I know, hook, line, and sinker. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Need a sidekick.
It was bad. Yeah, I needed someone to go,
Mr. Feedback.
Feedback, this guy's totally full of it. So
he shot a couple of people.
Yeah, but I...
This is Who Wants to Be a Superhero.
Well, I mean, shot, you know, bad guys.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I didn't figure it out. So you can see why I was pretty hard on myself, because all these obvious things I just wasn't catching. And I thought, man, because my wife has a nickname for me. It's Captain Oblivious. Oh, and she's also named my fortress, my secret lair, the Fortress of Slothitude.
That was your office we saw on the show?
That was my office on a good day.
Oh, wow.
That's what's so crazy. And unfortunately, no, I have not had time to clean it up. You can move from point A to point B in it. But.
All right, so then at some point, obviously, when you guys, we saw multiple footage anyway, you went to the lair, you all moved in there.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction? And again, since you were the one on the show who really embodied the idea of being a superhero, and when you realized, you know, you're going up in that building, there's the people pretending to be a dry cleaning thing or whatever, you go upstairs and you see that, wow, this is a superhero lair. I mean, we also have a look in your face, but what was going through your mind? What were you thinking when you saw it?
I couldn't wait to experience it all, but I didn't want to rush experiencing it all. Because I didn't want to rush through one room before it kind of washed over me, like whatever.